Have you ever tried reading the first chapter of Matthew and just skipped it? All those names, one after another. Begat this, begat that. It can feel like a really long, confusing list. But what if I told you that hidden inside those lists is one of the most incredible stories ever told? A story that proves Jesus is exactly who he said he was. Stick around, because today we're going to unravel the two family trees of Jesus. And trust me, it's way more exciting than it sounds. So, why are there two different genealogies for Jesus in the Bible? It's not a mistake, it's actually brilliant. You'll find one in the book of Matthew and another in the book of Luke. They tell the same story from two different but equally important perspectives. Think of it like this. One proves Jesus is the king, and the other proves he's the savior for every single one of us. Let's start with Matthew chapter 1. Matthew was writing primarily to a Jewish audience. They were waiting for a very specific person, the Messiah, the promised king who would sit on the throne of their greatest king, David. So Matthew's genealogy is all about proving Jesus's royal credentials. It's like presenting a legal document that says, "Here is your rightful king." Matthew's list starts with the father of the Jewish nation, Abraham, and moves forward in time. It hits all the big names, tracing the royal line right down to Joseph, Jesus' legal father. The path is clear. Abraham to King David, then through David's famous son, King Solomon, and all the subsequent kings of Judah, leading straight to Joseph. This makes Jesus the legal heir to the throne of David. Matthew is basically shouting from the rooftops, "The king you've been waiting for is here. His name is Jesus." It's a powerful statement of Jesus' authority and his right to rule. Now, let's switch over to Luke chapter 3. Luke has a different audience in mind. He's writing to a broader, non-Jewish audience, the Gentiles. His goal isn't just to show Jesus as the King of the Jews, but as the Savior for all of humanity. So Luke does something amazing. He starts with Jesus and works his way backward in time. Luke's genealogy goes from Jesus through Joseph, who, the text says, was the son-in-law of Heli, Mary's father, and all the way back. It also passes through King David, but interestingly, it follows the line of David's other son, Nathan, not Solomon. This is widely believed to be Mary's direct bloodline. So while Matthew gives us the legal royal line through Joseph, Luke gives us the actual physical human line through Mary. And Luke doesn't stop at Abraham. He keeps going all the way back to the very first man, Adam. And who was Adam's father? The list ends with the Son of God. By tracing Jesus' lineage back to the very beginning of humanity, Luke is making a profound point. Jesus isn't just for one group of people. He is connected to every single person who has ever lived. He is the Savior for the entire world. So Matthew shows us Jesus the King. Luke shows us Jesus the kinsman, our relative, the Savior for all. Both are 100% true and necessary to understand the full picture of who Jesus is. Now, let's talk about some of the incredible people in this family line. It's not just a list of kings and perfect individuals. It's a messy, beautiful story filled with real, flawed people, which makes God's grace shine even brighter. First up, Abraham. He's called the father of faith. God made a massive promise to him that through his offspring the entire world would be blessed. Every time you read that genealogy, you're seeing the fulfillment of that ancient promise to Abraham. Then there's his son, Isaac. Isaac was the miracle baby, the child of promise, born to Abraham and Sarah in their old age. His story is a powerful reminder that God keeps his promises even when they seem completely impossible. Next, we have Jacob. His name literally means struggler, and boy, did he live up to it. He wrestled with his brother, he wrestled with his father-in-law, and he even wrestled with God. But God transformed him and gave him a new name, Israel. He became the father of the 12 tribes, the foundation of the nation. From Jacob's 12 sons, one is singled out. Judah. Judah wasn't the oldest or the best behaved. In fact, his story has some very dark moments. But God chose his tribe, the tribe of the lion, to be the line of kings. It was from Judah that the Messiah would come. Fast forward a few hundred years, and we meet a man named Boaz. He's what the Bible calls a cat. He saw a poor foreign widow named Ruth and showed her incredible kindness, eventually marrying her and redeeming her family's land. His story is a beautiful picture of the grace and redemption that Jesus would one day offer to all of us. And of course, there's Ruth herself. She wasn't an Israelite, she was from Moab, a nation often at odds with Israel. Yet, because of her faith, God welcomed her into the family. Her inclusion in Jesus' family tree is a stunning statement that God's plan of salvation is for everyone, regardless of their background. Then comes the big one, David. He started as a humble shepherd boy and became Israel's greatest king, a man after God's own heart. God promised David that one of his descendants would have a kingdom that would never end. That descendant is Jesus, the ultimate shepherd king. David's son was Solomon, famous for his incredible wisdom and for building the first temple in Jerusalem. His glorious kingdom was a shadow, a sneak peek of the even more glorious and eternal kingdom of Christ. Now we arrive at the parents. First, Joseph. He was a humble carpenter, but he carried the royal bloodline of David. When he learned Mary was pregnant, his first instinct was to protect her honor. He chose obedience to God over his own reputation, becoming the legal father of Jesus and giving him the legal claim to David's throne. What an amazing act of faith. And finally, Mary, a young, humble girl from a small town. When the angel Gabriel appeared to her, she responded with incredible faith and humility, saying, "I am the Lord's servant." Through her, God did the impossible. The creator of the universe entered into his creation as a tiny, helpless baby. She is the mother of Jesus, the one through whom the Savior of the world came in human flesh. So when you see those genealogies, don't just see a list of names. See a story of promises kept over thousands of years. A story of flawed people being used in a perfect plan. See a legal document proving Jesus is the King, and a family history proving he is the Savior for all people. Matthew's list proves Jesus is the rightful King of the Jews, the long-awaited Messiah. Luke's list shows Jesus is the Savior of all humanity, connected to every one of us, all the way back to Adam. One line establishes his authority to rule. The other establishes his ability to save. You need both to see the complete, beautiful picture of Jesus. It's not just ancient history, it's our history. Because of Jesus, we too can be adopted into this family, the family of God. That long list of names isn't just leading to Jesus, leading to us. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this gave you a whole new appreciation for those opening chapters of Matthew and Luke. If you found this helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos that dive deep into the Bible. Let me know in the comments which person from Jesus's family tree you find most fascinating. See you in the next one.